This is a pretty good EP too. This band called Elbow Room. I've never talked to them before.
Three Dudes Babbling podcast with a special guest.
Welcome to Three Dudes Babbling. This is Elbow Room here. We have three dudes that are going to babble in the studio with us today. I'm going to be hosting the podcast here.
Aww.
Yeah, we're off. We're gonna play your gig on Wednesday, actually.
Oh God.
I didn't really want to play anyway, so
Yeah, you can show up and just show up
we
and be the audience.
we can watch our own songs.
Are you selling tickets?
Is guitar as easy as it is on Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
'Cause
It's easier.
Yeah, because it's just the button.
Only if you can play acoustic like in South Park.
Oh, that's even better.
There you go. Then
Okay,
you're
yeah.
done. You're fine.
Perfect. I'm good. This is gonna be a good show.
Is the Rock Band drums the same as the Guitar Hero ones?
Same thing, dude.
Right, Scott?
That's our drummer.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so.
Okay, I think I should be. I've never played it before, but I'll give it a try. Like the Rock Band.
Well, shit. When we had Rock Band,
You were always
growing
the
up,
drummer.
I was always the drummer.
That's what I want. Yeah, that's all I want.
Yeah, and then Joey's gonna be guitar singer, right?
No, bass. I want to be like, throw everyone off and be the bass player and singer. But isn't that how it is now?
No, I don't sing.
No.
I mean, I
No.
sing a little bit, but not a whole lot.
I thought, what's
Sort
his
of
face
say
played
to introduce
bass.
ourselves.
No,
Yeah.
Spencer and Ben both play guitar.
Yeah, we will.
He's bass. Him,
All right.
guitar, yeah.
So, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm Spencer. I play guitar and sing. Ben can't be here with us today, but he also plays guitar and sings.
I'm Ben Scott Drastic. I play the drums and yeah.
And I'm Stephan. I play that bass. Do some things.
Slap
He
at the
slaps
bass.
the
I
bass.
don't slap the
Please
bass.
stop.
I don't at all.
Do you ever go on stage and be like, guys, I'm not gonna slap at the bass?
No, I can't slap.
He
It's
plays
a lot
Seinfeld
harder.
before every show.
That's not a. That was on a synthesizer, actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually a bass guitar, but you can make it happen.
You gotta know how to slap. That's all.
Can you try to do that?
Please don't.
What? Try and learn Seinfeld by
You
Wednesday?
alright there,
Yeah.
bud?
No,
Sure.
not
Do
gonna
it.
happen.
I'll do it.
Please?
Scott,
I'll do
Scott
it.
will probably learn it better
I'll
than
do
I
it because
would.
I'm playing bass for the opening band, like filling in
Are you serious?
when, where. Yeah.
He's not joking.
No, they're,
No, he
they're
is filling in for the other band.
Yeah,
I feel like you just fill in wherever.
dude. I mean, it's cool. Like they're good friends of mine, and I like their songs, so it's kind of like a cool like one-time deal. But yeah, after this, it's like Elbrum's the focus. So.
Hey, there you
Got a
go.
record to put
Yeah,
out,
because you
so.
guys have a lot of big gigs coming up. Because actually, one of my questions is like, you guys are playing with Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
cool.
shit,
Dude.
I haven't heard that.
I was,
in,
like,
years.
Do you feel like
I was like
a man?
7 years old listening to
Yeah,
their
for
record, and I was like,
sure.
"This band's cool.
Stop.
I like them." So, 11-year-old me is like pretty proud of that. It's gonna be weird though because we've played with a couple bands that are getting some like real attention around the country, and like that's cool and all, but we haven't played with one of those like 2000s bands yet.
Yeah.
And this
Well,
will be like the
yeah,
first one.
Well, I mean, we played at Ann Arbor.
Ann
already.
Arbor, yeah.
That's
Which
true.
is-
Yeah, Ann
which
Arbor
is
is
the
like
one
the
that's
place.
it.
I feel like
Yeah,
Red
yeah.
Jumpsuit's like another level of like well known.
That like
Yeah.
classic
very
like Face Down is on like playlists with like Ocean Avenue and there's no I in
it's
Team.
just
and,
like that nostalgic.
Yeah,
that
it's gonna feel
nostalgic
weird.
Shit.
Because when it was announced, I was like, that name sounds super familiar. And then like I texted you. I'm pretty sure I texted you right away. I was like, is this like legit? Like the red jumpsuit?
Yeah,
You're
dude,
like,
yeah.
like, holy shit, I'm pumped.
Well, that's kind of how the same thing happened the first time we played with Ann Arbor. Is our booking agent hit Spencer up and was like, "Hey, do you want to play with Ann Arbor?" And Spencer goes like, "The Ann Arbor." Like,
yeah, it was like you're
Ann
trying to
Arbor Jr.?
like to clarify. This is the band that used to be on Hopeless Records, and he was like, "Yeah, that one." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah,
yeah,
I've been
yeah.
listening to them for probably 7 or 8 years, so
Yeah, that's crazy.
like that was cool too. That was
like,
cool.
is it like a dream come true or something like that? Or-
Honestly, once we started playing with some of these bands that are like, around a little more and have some like, they're like borderline famous or whatever you'd call it. I
Yeah.
guess it's not. You don't really. You kind of lose the element of being like starstruck by people, and they just become like
normal.
Like we're become friends with some of these bands that like we've been listening to for years, and it's when we play gigs with them and stuff, and it's strange, but it's just like-minded people that also want to play music just like we do. So and like yeah, sure they're further along the music industry ladder than we are, but like it's just people, you know, they're just as cool as like you could expect anyone to be.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, like, all right, going back to your roots, like, how did you guys like first get started?
Do you want me to tell the story? I'm the only founding member.
Spencer's technically the
like
only founding member.
That's still, because it was two guys that started the band. So I actually was working at Chipotle with one of my friends. His name is Justin. He's not with us anymore, but
Also,
He's alive. He's alive.
We're not.
oh yeah, I'm sorry.
We're not sponsored by Chipotle either way.
Yeah,
But if you want to give us money or like food,
You want to
that's
cater?
cool.
Come on,
Cater
talk about-
every
yeah.
podcast. That'd be great.
You guys deserve it. I mean, I know some people that still work there. We'll see what we can do. But no, so I met my friend Justin at Chipotle. He was actually one of my managers, but we became friends really fast, and then we just decided to. It was a joke at first. We were like joking around, like, oh, we're gonna start a band because we found out. You know, he saw like a video on Facebook of me singing or something, and it was this big deal. This whole day, he walked around at work and told every single one of my new coworkers, like, "Did you guys know that new Spencer kid could sing? Like, he can sing. Like, look at this video." And I was like, it was awesome. But
How old were you at the time?
I was 18 or 19. 19? I was 19. I was freshly 19.
Oh wow.
And
Fresh.
I was a fresh, young 19-year-old chap.
Mm.
And so we got a record together, and Justin,
Legal, though.
I think Justin just discovered it wasn't really maybe the genre he wanted to be doing anymore, and he had some, you know, he has other stuff going on in life, but I'm still great friends with him. It is what it is, and like here we are, and it's awesome, you know.
Yeah, like my next question was like, how did you guys actually pick the genre of music that?
Well, I'm someone that's like I grew up listening to like, you know, like your Cartel and Yellow Card and Motion City Soundtrack, Taking Back Sunday, like all those bands.
Motion City.
So this is just what I've always listened to. So like I was super about it, and now like our writing dynamic's really weird because I'll write a lot of the instrumentals with Scott, our drummer, and he has a lot of that also, like the punk, but he listens to a lot of like the newer stuff, and then he has a nice little sliver of hardcore like influence too.
Like, what do you listen to, Scott?
Jealous on kinds of music. Like, yeah, I mean, I really like some hardcore stuff like Touche Amore, A La Dispute, and more alternative stuff like Balance and Composure, like Story So Far.
We just saw the.
No, we didn't
No,
see them.
you didn't see
Joey
them.
and I actually, they were playing with Deer Hunter.
Who?
Balance and Composure.
Yeah, Deer
They're
Hunter.
awesome. I love them.
Yeah,
Rest
they
in
broke
peace.
up. Yeah.
They just
That was
shit.
Circa.
That one hurt.
No.
Well, they
That was
played
one
on
of
tour
those
with
bands that
Circa. Balance did like in December
Yeah.
last year.
Oh, I thought
And,
that was
yeah.
Thrice.
And Thrice. It was
Thrice
Thrice.
was on that.
Thrice, Balance
John-
and Composure,
Balance
John,
and-
and
yeah.
Did you go to that?
Unfortunately, no. And
Yeah, I
then I
missed it
found
too.
out Balance is like probably one of my favorite bands. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them a
Balance.
handful of times, but yeah, that's just
All of
one
us
of those
love
ones
them.
that hurt.
Damn. Man, 'cause, we saw Chan.
They were
Dude,
awful.
was
We
not
talked about
impressed
that
at all.
before.
Really?
Yeah.
They must have been having an off night.
They
Well,
they
it's-
don't. I just don't like. We want.
I don't-
We're used to like Anthony Green showmanship, because you've been a Circa.
yeah,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
it's nuts.
definitely.
That's on another
Anthony
level.
Green
Commands
puts
the
on such a good
crowd,
show,
yeah.
And Anthony
Chan,
Green, if you're
it's-
listening.
I guess it's just more of like they're doing their thing. They're focused on their instrumentals because that's all they have. Like when you have a singer who's like doing his thing,
I know what you're saying.
he's there putting on a show. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's I guess
I just
don't
saw-
know.
Musicians, music.
I actually,
Yeah.
I just saw Sean like a little while back with, I don't even know who, I don't remember who they were playing with. They were playing with
Was it?
Terramellos and was that their band?
I don't remember.
I don't
I know what show you're talking about. I can't remember.
Yeah,
what
it was they were impressive. Like their instruments
Oh,
are
yeah,
insane. Like that was crazy.
Don't
But I know where you're coming from
Yeah.
a standpoint. Like there was they had some girl, I think her name's Covet or something, that was also playing. She's another like really extremely talented guitar player. And it was just an entire show of complex instrumentals and like either no vocals or like simple vocals. And I could see where you're coming from. Like for me as a guitar player, I was just like I was enjoying the hell out of it. But
it's super impressive.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
but I could see where
Yeah.
you like.
It's a
I
little
get
stale after
it
5
gets,
minutes.
Yeah, after a whole show of seeing 4 different bands do the same thing, I could understand. Like,
Yeah,
like,
'cause
for
it-
me, I could watch it all day, but like I could understand certain people like not
Yeah.
being.
What's
super
What's the
big fans of
dynamic?
that.
Like, okay, this guy can shred, and it's like, okay, 5 minutes later he's still shredding. 20 minutes later he's still shredding. So
like, look at him. Look
it's
at him
cool
shred.
bands that have a good song, and then they can just like, throw it in there and tear it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Come
So,
back to
for
like
me, it's like one of my favorite bands right now is Capstan. They're starting to blow up big, and we've played with them a couple times. Super
Yeah,
cool dudes. They're on Warped this summer. Like they're
really?
they're really starting to.
I think they're about to blow up.
Alright.
We did a little just super like DIY put together ourselves like Midwest run last year. It was like 4 or 5 shows, and right after we finished this week of shows, we jumped on the 2 Ohio dates of a tour with Capstan and Belmont. So we got to see those dudes in Columbus and Cleveland in the span of like a week.
Wow.
And yeah, they rip live. They're so good.
Yeah.
And
But-
Belmont's about to put out a full length too, and they're probably about to get pretty good with it. But the Capstan guys are super nice. They're super nice to us, and we played the first show, and they remembered us the second show, and they're like excited to see us. So like they're good
They
dudes.
played with
They're
you
just
guys at
good stuff.
Mahal's, right?
Yeah, some
Yeah.
basement.
Oh my
yeah.
god, that was a great show.
But they have like the hardcore influence like that.
Mhm.
They have like the Sean like super technical guitar parts.
Yeah, you asked me
But-
about my guitar chords that I like to write.
Yeah, and then like
Yeah, right.
Anthony is his name, is their lead singer. Dude puts on a hell of a show and is one of the
Yeah.
nicest dudes I've ever met. I mean, that Columbus show, or not Columbus, the Cleveland show. It was me and him just going back and forth, just going nuts. Because I don't know if you've been to Mayhall's basement, it's a floor show. You're right there with the crowd.
I was with you guys when the last show.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
you're literally like face to face with the crowd. It's like
I didn't get in the picture though.
it's alright.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of
And it's
people.
it's such a cool picture because it was like so packed.
Yeah, I
We're all like straining so hard in it. Like, it looks like we're all about to like take a dump. We're bending down. And, like,
There's so many people.
Like,
It's
it's like a
funny.
quarter of the crowd.
You
Yeah.
did- Something smelled after that
Okay.
picture, so I'm pretty sure something.
You know what's
Madhouse.
funny? I saw a
Doggy.
dude at that show that I saw a year before at Circa Survive. He's the guy that helped me crowd surf.
Awesome, dude.
I was like, what the?
Lost connections.
I was like, what the
Circa
hell are the
Survive edition.
chances? I know, like,
Right.
Glad you
I
guys
know.
reconnected.
you know. And
Super cool.
did you guys ever like try to get on the last Warp Tour?
Not really.
It is just it just hits a certain point. Like there's the Warped Tour Battle of the Bands, which is cool. You know, like Spencer was saying, this band's been around for a year and a half. Like you really got to have a couple of years under your belt
Yeah.
before you go in and like actually try to do something like that.
You know,
See, I feel like that's kind of that kind of screws up stuff because I mean Warped Tour are going under now. Like this is their last year. I feel like if they were to, I don't know, maybe try to revamp it or something, bring back new local bands each city they go to,
yeah.
and just have it be like a celebration of the local bands and the local talent and stuff like that. And I feel
can
like
see it.
a lot of people
with
I mean,
obviously with a bunch of like headliners and
Yeah,
stuff like
well,
that.
yeah,
national
yeah.
tournaments. But I know what you're saying. Yeah,
you bring in like a couple bands that headline that are just go through to every town, but
Right. Well, that was
everything
the,
is it's just a celebration of
that was the
local
whole premise of
bands.
Warped Tour to begin with. Was you bring in a bunch of big bands that are going to bring a crowd, whether
Yeah.
they're playing Warped Tour or any other
anything.
tour
and
that
then
they're
everyone
doing.
hangs out all day.
And then all the smaller bands that you're really not going to have people going to see them, but are extremely talented, are playing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now all these people are exposed to these new bands they've never heard of, and they're like, "Wow, that band was amazing." They become a fan of it. Now, 10 years later, when that new band that was small blows up from Warped Tour,
And then they go back to Warp Tour.
they're bigger than Warped Tour, but they know that Warped Tour helped build their career, so they're going to go back and play it, even though
Yeah.
they're bigger than what the crowds are.
Well, that's the thing about. I mean, to be fair too, because Lyman's even come out and said it. The way he's talking about it, he's saying it's the end of Warped as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's still gonna be there. I just don't think it's gonna be so many dates.
I guess we like
Well,
Riot Fest.
Yeah, maybe.
I was gonna say because there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of like big massive days
Right.
like that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's stuff going on around here, like between Lollapalooza and like
Riot Fest.
yeah, Riot
Yeah.
Fest. I mean, they're constantly coming up with new ideas and like it's representing different genres of music.
I think they'll keep doing like a couple cities a year festival thing for Warped Tour because
Yeah.
they already have the brand built and
I
people
guess,
are going to
yeah.
come to it no matter
It's
what.
just a shame
so.
they didn't want to sell it or anything, but again, I think Kevin had it in his hands and he wanted to direct the vision of it, so I can understand it. It's just that so many people our age love it and connect with it. It's just hard to see it go, but
yeah.
I mean, when it's
I mean,
time,
ev-
it's time.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
But a lot of what I've seen recently too, at least in kind of in our genre, it's all not necessarily the Warp stuff. It's all kind of like going to a lot of DIY venues in local cities, or going and doing your own kind of tour, and eventually just kind of building yourself up like that. And Warped isn't necessarily like the oh, you need to play Warped to be huge. Like, yeah, it helps for sure, but a lot of what you're looking at now with bands that are getting big, especially in our genre, they all kind of started with doing their own thing, stringing together maybe just a few weekend runs, and then starting to string together maybe a month run, and then maybe they're doing a couple different 1 month long runs in the year, and then eventually they do something where they're gone all summer long playing, and then at that point they're already starting to get noticed, and, and that's kind of helps them up, at least from what I can kind of see.
Well, and that's how it used to be back in the day.
Right.
My uncle was a hippie, and he was going to all these shows back in the day, like in the 70s and 80s, going to the Agora, the Grog Shop, and he was like, I saw Alice Cooper when he first started for a quarter at a YMCA. And like he was like, I was at the Agora and I took a piss next to, he either took a piss next to David Bowie's guitarist or Steven Tyler, or he took a piss next to Steven Tyler and David Bowie's guitarist was in the bathroom smoking pot. It was like
just mix and match.
It's
mix and match.
See, they're all the same.
His brain was probably already fried, so it
Steven Tyler?
No,
David Bowie.
Your uncle.
All of them.
He tells the best fucking stories.
I'm sure, man.
Dude, old school rockers are the best.
Well, that's the thing. Like, speaking of old school rockers, like the biggest thing that got me in Spencer into music is definitely our dad. Like, he played professionally up till he was like 22, 23.
I actually didn't know that.
Like,
yeah,
he played. He opened with.
He seems like a dude who would do that.
Yeah, he opened for Donnie Iris and the Cruisers. He opened for Little America. He toured with the Grassroots up and down the East Coast. Like,
I think I remember your dad telling me that, like, when we were, like, 12, 13
when we were
playing together?
Soccer, yeah.
And you, like, mentioned it, and I was just like, my little brain couldn't necessarily grasp it then, but now it's just kind of like, holy shit, like, that's awesome.
I mean, so me and Spencer literally grown up just
like,
about music. Music is everything.
Awesome.
So, like, it's always been a dream, and me and Spencer have had long conversations, like, it's always been a dream of ours to play music, and then the fact that we get to do it together is a ton of fun.
That was actually like my next one. Like, what's it like playing with your brother?
It's cool.
We definitely.
I'll say one thing is if one of us like makes a mistake, it's more frustrating than if it wasn't my brother. Like, I'll say that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But other than that, like it's cool. Like we're both really busy kids and we've got a lot going on. Like we don't see each other as much as we probably would want to. So it's cool that like one of the things that we're so busy doing, like we're actually doing together.
Yeah, hanging out.
So it's cool.
We definitely don't have a Gallagher brother dynamic.
It's not like that, yeah.
Oasis for people who don't know.
Exactly. I was gonna bring that up. I don't know what made me want to bring that up earlier, but do you remember the Unplugged special?
Yeah.
Where Liam. Liam was like, I'm sick, I can't come.
Yeah.
So they did the show without him.
Yeah.
And there was this guy up in the balcony heckling them the entire time. Mm-hmm. And it ended up being fucking Liam, drunk out of his mind.
Yeah.
And he came down and sang Wonderwall, trashed.
Yeah, we definitely don't have that dynamic. Like,
yeah.
We don't. Yeah, it's like me and Spencer both have the drive, and Scott went along with it, and so has Ben. Like, we hold each other accountable.
Yeah,
like, we're not gonna get hammered and go up on stage and play like a fucking asshole.
Out of all the bands I've played in, like, this is honestly the most responsible. Like, everyone's like straight-laced, like, well-behaved kids, and like, I know Stephan and I took a fucking cherry bomb shot before the Set It Off show, but I mean, besides that, we're not gonna go up with like 10 beers deep and be like, oh, I'm gonna rock out now. Like, we take this shit seriously.
I mean, I work in the food service industry. I mean, if we were doing like a big ass event or something like that, sometimes you need what I call a little social lubricant. It just loosens you up, it gets you good.
I mean,
yeah, right.
If you ever go to any of our shows, you'll see me have a beer or two on stage. But it's
you're
just
not getting shit.
It's a social beer.
I can
social lubricant, as he said.
Social lubricant.
Yeah, I can still play my shit, no problem. Like, I'm not hitting the wrong notes every single fucking note, way off tempo, anything like that.
Okay, so like,
oh shit!
Do you ever
thought I was playing the right thing, but I can see three basses.
I
am now confused.
It's a three.
I will say this: one of the only shows that I've been stone cold sober, I actually started the show out of tune.
I remember that.
So in Pennsylvania.
So like whenever someone fucks up, do you ever just go, "Way to fuck up there"?
No, I don't like doing that. I think it looks really unprofessional if you like.
We always just joke around with
after,
Spencer taking forever on.
That's
about it.
I've noticed that.
I'm
like, it's a good.
That's about it. It's a joke. Like, you can tell it's a joke.
Now we swap out guitars to eliminate that.
Yeah,
freeze pop.
I don't know. It's like, people fuck up. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we've been putting a lot of work into our practices to the point where, like, we're not making stupid mistakes on stage anymore. Like, that was happening when the band was new and we were in our first few months as a band, but it's been a long time that we've been like we've got rid of the stupid mistakes. It's just all discipline and like just like practicing the parts. And like obviously everyone's gonna fuck up. I've seen incredible bands that are like they're probably rich because they're making so much money because they're that popular of a band, and I've seen them make like terrible mistakes on stage. Like it's unavoidable. Any professional musician, no matter how good they are, is gonna fuck up.
You'll mess up something live you've never messed up before too.
But it's just it's how much discipline you can have to limit how many times you're gonna do that, like in the span of like a tour
that's
or
what
something
proves
like that.
good bands and good musicians is if you fuck up and you can just go right back into getting it.
Yeah, like most people don't usually even notice. It usually takes the communication.
It's all how you play it off, and I think a huge part of it is the mindset you're at. Like while you're on stage, it's so easy to just be focused. Like you don't want to go into it not wanting to fuck up. You want to go into it to put on a good show and be in the atmosphere. And I've been in every like mental state I could be when I'm on stage. I've been nervous, I've been happy, I've been excited. Like it just totally depends on the day. But you just have to go in clear-headed. You gotta be up there doing your job, having fun. Like we'll jam out. Stephan will come up to the drums. We'll rock out. I mean that's what matters. And if you go in with that mindset, you're definitely gonna be successful.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta go out there to rip a fucking gig. You can't go out there like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I don't mess up tonight. It's gonna make you mess up more. That's like in sports, you don't shoot to not score. Like you shoot to score an incredible goal because when you shoot to not score, you're probably gonna miss.
You miss 100%.
Or I'm sorry, I messed it up. When you shoot to not miss, that's what I meant to say. When you shoot to not miss, like you're probably just gonna miss, or you're just gonna mess it up anyways.
All the time.
But you gotta go for goal.
I definitely can tell, especially myself, just every show I just get more and more comfortable on stage. I'm sure you saw it last.
Oh yeah.
I'm pulling our friends on stage to just scream lyrics, and I'm out in the crowd jamming.
That Mahal show was fucking fun.
Yeah,
and
I'm glad. That's cool. I like to hear that because
all of your shows have been like I've seen such a improvement.
I was gonna say like the first show I ever saw you guys, I was like these guys are really good, and like I mean like I wasn't like dissing you, but I was like
there's room for improvement.
There always is.
Yeah. But then I saw
something. You guys just have to take the criticism. I mean, it's nothing. You guys
need
can't
thick skin
build
to do this.
and get better. You guys can't get better without criticism.
We're not guys that have huge heads. Like we understand we're not the best.
Yeah.
That's.
But you guys love it, and you guys are entertaining.
Yeah,
that's like what you need to do.
And you're saying you noticed us improve? That's
like tenfold.
I mean, if you would have went to our first show ever.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I was in the crowd.
Scott was in the crowd, but
can we talk about it?
Yeah, so if you just would have went to our first show ever and saw me then and then saw me now, I looked like a fucking statue.
Oh, yeah.
I literally just looked like one, I haven't cut my hair since then. So my hair's been growing ever since that show. But two, I literally just looked like a statue. I did not move, not a single bit. So like
we have fun now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
We jam out now.
Me and Spencer had to jam out.
As long as you have fun with it. I mean,
there's a show in Chicago that his Strat broke, and
it was fun.
We're playing, and then I realized something wasn't playing, and I look over, and Spencer's on the ground like scrambling to try.
I jumped off his amp and just like whipped my guitar around like I was just having fun, playing in Chicago for the first time. Like it was a blast. Like and the strap ripped out of my guitar, and my wireless system like ripped like out of the plug-in in my guitar, so I had to like get down, like plug in my wireless, turn it back on, like fix it was a mess.
But I'm in the middle of playing.
But we handled it. Yeah. I was still playing. I was just like laying down. So
I was like, there's a guitar part missing, and that's when I look over and I see, oh, he's on the ground. And I just literally jumped over to the mic and just took his part over. Like it was just seamless. Like
maybe someone in the crowd was like, oh man, that's really cool. This guy's playing on the ground.
Hopefully.
This guy's like taking a nap during the show.
Jimi Hendrix, are you?
He's just
with my tongue.
But like, what's it like writing an album?
That's something I'm going to talk to those two about. They do most of it. I just kind of come and play.
It's cool. Like I kind of want to tell you it's frustrating as fuck, but
I can see that.
I'm not going to say.
It's
that.
like being.
I'm not going to expand.
It's
on
like
that.
being on top of a skyscraper and not looking down. Like you just have to be like really comfortable and say like, "Hey, we're doing this. We're gonna make it happen." And like, if you look at the work at hand and like every little detail, it can be so intimidating. And with us like producing it on our own in my basement, like Spencer and I are looking over everything with a microscope, and we've written these songs since like from January till now. We've written the songs, recorded them, so it's just such a process
we have to track one more song and we're done with our new EP.
And it is frustrating, and we always have a list like now, like since we're finishing up the songs, like in each song what we want to like improve and just like polish everything up. But at the end of the day, it's extremely rewarding to hear the songs come from like A to Z.
That would be my word. It's been very rewarding. It's like I wrote the first record with our ex lead singer, and that was awesome. But that was my first effort really at like legitimate songwriting. Not like I'm gonna write 30 seconds or a minute of a song, like writing full songs. And now I have a lot more experience with it, and where I lack like my knowledge of I'm a very creative individual, but I don't really have the music theory knowledge or the scales or the keys, and that's where Scott keeps me in check because he's a musical genius.
You fucking suck.
So he just keeps us on track, and it's been really rewarding to see these songs come together because like he said, we're producing on our own, and we have really like it. I'm really proud of the new songs. I can't wait for everyone to hear them. I can't tell you that you're gonna like them more than the first record, but I can tell you that musically they make more sense, and they're way deeper and they're catchier, and they like from my perspective we love playing them way more than like the last record. We're so proud of the first record, we love it, but we're just so excited for what this new record is going to bring to us.
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
So,
you guys, could I suggest something to you guys? It's not on like a different scale. You guys listen to Foster the People?
Yeah.
Okay. They've had like one or two songs, whatever, take off. Have you listened to their newest one?
Yeah, I actually really like it.
Yeah.
I was better than the last.
I was listening to it literally on the way here.
Yeah, it's a great album. It's my favorite, honestly, out of all of it. And I was reading the lead singer was talking about when they were writing the album, and they were writing it while on tour of Supernatural or whatever the second album's called. Yeah. And they specifically said when writing this album, they were writing it with the whole let's make one song that can go viral out of their mind.
Yeah.
So they just wanted to write something that they loved, something that just they wanted to do,
and that's
and then
what
they
we're
went
doing.
with it. Yeah. So it's really cool to see like
you have to enjoy what you're writing. Like
exactly.
You
can't. I feel like on this record we've reached like a new height of really expressing like our own musicianship. I remember one of the first compliments I ever got on the first record ever was my friend Tyler. He plays bass and sings in a band called Home Safe from Chicago, and their album drops in 25 minutes. Their first full length record. So
awesome.
if you're listening, go listen to that.
They're blowing up.
It's gonna be amazing. But we played our first show ever with them, and I already knew him at the time. But he was like, "Hey, dude, like I listened to your guys' record. It's like I've never heard anything like that. Like that was really unique. Like that's cool.
That's awesome.
Like,
that's really cool.
That's the best compliment you can give me. I don't want to sound like everyone else, and it's cool to think that because, like I said, I think we all blend all of our musical influences in a way that are like we're actually making like a unique record, and that's like we're really proud of. We love it. I've listened to all of our demos as the songs were being built from scratch, like 20 to 30 times every time we added something new to the song, and it's not really so much like toot my own horn. It's just like what can I hear in this song that I want to add? Like does this sound wrong? Like does this need re-recorded? Should we do something different? Like what do I want to do next with this next guitar part? Stuff like that. That's how I wrote the record. Like I would go over Scott's and we'd write sections, and then I'd listen to it like hundreds of times and just think and like what do I think should be next? Like, and then we just built it, but ourselves out of that, and it's been cool. So it's in. We're working on getting it to Paris, France. Our new friends in Chunk No Captain Chunk are actually mixing it for us. They did. They at Alias Studio. They did the In Her Own Words release last summer. They've produced a lot of really good songs. Wow, they're talented, so we're really excited to hear how they sound from them.
Yeah, we're lucky we found them, and they accepted to work on the project, and we're just really excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Kind of to backtrack a little bit on what Spencer said too, and you may have this as a question later, but I don't know. Like, when he's saying like with unique stuff, like I have the hardest time when people ask me, "Oh, what do you guys sound like?" I have the hardest time giving like an example. I'm like, I sound like this, but not this.
I don't know.
Like it's not. We have our own. Like we're trying. You can definitely, if you listen, you can definitely
You can hear influences.
You can hear influences.
It's nothing you've never heard. Like we're not some like godly, unprecedented,
not-
like amazing band, but
Right, you're not the
you
typical
can hear our
punk.
influences. But you don't. I don't think
yeah.
you listen to our music and go, "Oh, this is like the same garbage I've just listened to 1,000
Yeah.
times over the
That's-
last 6 months." Like,
That's what my problem with like a lot.
I don't think you get
a lot
that.
of music
That's
is. I'm like, this all sounds the same. There's no unique.
That's the best part about going to local shows with local
Yeah.
bands is like, this
You
isn't the
hear-
shit that you hear
yeah.
every day on the radio.
You don't have someone in a suit telling you what to play, what's cool, what's not
Exactly.
cool, and
Mhm.
you know, to be honest, all that's like the worst bullshit in the world that ruins bands. And I mean, we're in a fresh mindset where we literally just throw out what we want to throw out, and you know, making what we want to make. And
it's been cool. I mean, it is what it is. It's just we wanted to do it ourselves, and there's been a lot of people that have connected with it so far. So
Yeah.
you know, I had someone actually reach out to me the other day, and they're like, "Hey, that I was like, you know, I was this is heavy stuff, so forewarning." But she, you know, I'm very open with like my social media profiles. All my messages are open and stuff for people that like if they want to send me like a nice message about my music or something, it's always open for them to do that. And I had a girl message me online. This was like probably a month or two ago now, and she said, you know, like I was in a really bad place one night, and I put my iPod on shuffle, and like, or my iPhone or whatever she was listening to music on, and she was like, one of your songs came on. I just wanted to. This is kind of weird to tell you because I know I don't know you, but I just want to let you know I think that song saved my life like last night.
That's awesome.
And that was like so rewarding because when I started writing music, all I wanted to ever to do was to connect with people the way all of my favorite artists connected with me when I was growing up, and like that was and through that I've become friends with this girl, and it's like it's cool. You meet so many people just because they have found a connection to you through your music, and that's been one of the coolest things about this band so far, and like I can't wait for it to expand even more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we always joke about the weird cult followings we have in just random spots
Yeah,
around the world.
you said it was like what, Georgia or whatever in like
Lithuania.
Lithuania, that's what it was.
That's one.
Dude, the punk scene there is fucking.
But it's just
lit.
like it was like, but it's just
Quote
like,
of the day.
but like just like there's this one chick that like favorites or retweets everything that me and Spencer say on Twitter, and she's from Lithuania, and
That's
she has a couple
awesome.
friends.
She's
There's
awesome.
like she's really cool.
Hopefully they're listening. Right
Yeah,
now, and
but-
hopefully we just
yeah,
gained
but,
some Lithuanian followers.
Come on,
But,
download Podbean.
But the
We're on YouTube as well, so
YouTube.
YouTube,
YouTube.
iTunes.
But like,
Soon to
there's
be
where is it at in
Spotify.
Texas? Like, so random, like 2 random cities in Texas. Like, we just have random spots, and we're like,
Yeah, hey.
me and Spencer always look at each other and go like, how? But at the same time, it's
Music's
also
cool
really
that way.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
music's
that's,
awesome.
That's the thing. One thing that I just love about music is it doesn't matter how old it is, where you're from. Like, if it's good music, it's
Yeah,
good music.
people
No, like
like
and
it.
like
People
to clarify,
relate.
like yeah, I'm not saying like I don't think we have like there's I hate the word fans. I'm not using the word fans, but like it's cool to go on
Love
our demographic analysis on Spotify and stuff and see like you know there's
Where people are
6
listening
people
to us.
listening to you in Dallas, Texas, and you're
They're
like
like, sweet.
And once you see
How?
that, you know,
That's cool.
repeated, you know that
But
it's
you-
not
but-
just like someone who accidentally clicked on it. You know, it's
So
someone
that's
who's
cool.
like,
Like,
actually checking out your stuff consistently.
we're
in
seeing
another
some stuff
state.
like that, you know.
Yeah.
And there's been like the oddball negative comment over our band here and there, but I try not to let it bother us because
Yeah.
first of all, like I said, we know we're not perfect. So if you have something negative to say about us, like whatever, you're right. We're
But there's
probably
like
not the best, but-
constructive
Yeah, but
criticism, and then there's
just trying to
people
That's the
that
thing.
are
is
trolls.
We ignore the negative
Yeah.
stuff, and
That might
the
be
people who
saying
have.
that you guys are cocksuckers on there. Like,
But no, that's you know. If
I'm proud of that one.
if you come
So
like yeah, I
Ladies.
suck cock.
whatever.
Don't mean to brag, but I suck on me.
but no, it's
Ladies.
yeah. He like if you come at us and you're like, hey, like I really like this, but you know, what if you tried this, or you know,
It's
like.
being constructive.
We listen
Sure,
to it. Yeah, we're not gonna say we'll say like Spencer said, thank you. Like
Yeah.
we appreciate you actually taking the time and just listening to us. Honestly, that's
And
the
if
biggest
someone's
thing.
told that to us, likely, like, we've told ourselves that a million times. Like, if
Yeah.
someone's mentioned something to us,
We
like,
overanalyze.
we've already run it through the system. Like,
Yeah.
And if you want to come up to me and tell me that my band sucks dick, then like if that's your opinion, cool. Then my band's not for you. And
Yeah.
to quote a
have-
very famous movie. Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
yeah, it's your opinion. It is what it is. And hopefully you find people whose opinions are that your band doesn't suck. And that's
You know,
just the goal.
I'm curious because
It is what it is.
being on Spotify, I mean, I personally, every Monday, I listen to my Discovery playlist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I listen to, there's a lot of nobodies that I heard on there, and I'm like, these guys fucking sound awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's
cool.
kind of the same thing. Like, I
I
don't
feel
know
like
if you're
that
just
could
on
have happened.
Spotify.
It can
It
be.
could have, you know.
I don't know if you're
I think
just
it's a big
on
what if,
Spotify,
like, who really
it
knows,
does it.
but,
yeah.
Just being in other playlists, like, the marketing tools, getting your music out there on Spotify is something that's really changed, like, in the past, like, 3-4 years. Like, we were talking about it today. Like, I remember when you used to go on YouTube and pull up songs just to put the album on there, like, listen to it, and no one really does that anymore. It's Spotify or, Apple. Or, like,
But at the same time, streaming's cool and it's awesome to have your music easily accessible, but it's killing a lot of the music industry.
Yeah, because you guys don't, you guys aren't making like money off of that, right?
It's not killing it. It's just
It's a different way.
reshaping it.
Yeah.
You don't make as
there
much
is
money as
negative
they
and
make.
positive
it's
effects.
very minimal.
Yeah, there's
like
plenty of negative
300 cents
effects.
per stream.
There's plenty of positive effects. It is what it is, and like the bottom line is, you can be like, oh fuck Spotify and Apple Music, like that's stupid, that's killing the music industry, but you're just killing yourself. Like, you're killing your own band by doing that. Like, you just gotta evolve with it. It is how it is, and that's just how the music industry has evolved. Nobody can change that because that's just how it works now.
I mean,
So we have to you just have to roll with it. So, and that's.
And, I mean, I still use
I don't
it,
mind
and I
it.
get
I
it,
actually don't even mind
and everything
it.
like that, and it's awesome because it is easily accessible. But it's like, if I really dig something,
You're gonna
I try
buy it.
to buy their
That's
stuff.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
I
I
mean.
do at like every show I go to. I always try to buy a T-shirt or something like that. Like I've been to your show twice.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been
Two-
I feel like
three
you've done
times.
two or
twice,
three times.
Yeah.
But like both times I've bought.
You've bought 2 different T-shirts.
Yeah.
Twice, yeah.
Rock on. You have one of the donut T-shirts?
Oh yeah,
I love those.
I wanted
I'm
to.
looking at
So-
the- I'm looking at the donut.
donut
Yeah, yeah.
t-shirt.
I'm looking at the donut stick on the back.
You
of the
got
right
like
here.
They gotta
the
order more.
donuts and then like the spaceship logo, or like
Yeah.
I love those so much.
Yeah, those are so nice. But speaking
Shout out
of
to our
like,
friend Cassie for the.
yeah, speaking of
Yeah,
like
Cassie.
being unique. All right, I want you guys to check out this video
Oh
about
my
this guy. He's just doing his own thing.
Not so close.
Stay
to
the
the
land,
microphone.
stay the land, 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 stay the land.
Do you like how he's
He's
using
got some
his
soul
like?
in his voice, too.
I think we found our new guest vocalist.
Do you like how he's using his like lung infection as like an instrument?
That's nice.
You know,
Yes.
like, I'll continue to play it. Like how he's making his own words up.
Do you understand the words of that song?
I don't think anybody actually does though.
He's really serious about it. I can see that he's passionate.
It's not.
Now the shades come off. Dental implants shown.
Yeah, nice tonality to his voice.
He honestly, he looks like one of the guys in the Rolling Stones.
He probably is. I mean, Keith Richards has to get full body blood transfusions every couple of years.
Really?
So he
I
doesn't
think we might have to
die.
throw that "Come On" into one of our songs now. It's not finished yet. I think I'll totally record that out. Come on.
You gotta get like tinnitus or something first.
Tinnitus
Tinnitus is
No,
ear.
It's
that's
in your
so
ear?
gross.
Oh,
That's what you
No.
get.
Do you have tinnitus?
No, I always wear hearing protection. I mean, that's
I
like
can't think of it. It's like
I'm the most
I'm
anal
trying
about
to-
that in the entire band.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought it was something that completely fucked with your vocal cords.
You gotta get like
You think
ammonia or
you're,
something,
like,
a bunch of shit in your
tonsil-
lungs.
It's not tonsillitis is your tonsils.
Yeah, but it's in your throat.
Yeah.
Let me just like
Oh,
eat
you're
some
right, so
glass.
it's there.
I'll just do that. I'll just eat
Yeah,
some
tuberculosis.
glass.
I thought my tonsils were in my butt.
Can you guys have that guy as like a guest vocalist or something?
Yeah,
Like that?
he
You
might
can
be
find
dead.
him.
Shoot him a message.
You can find him.
Yeah,
He's
he's
probably dead.
He
Hey,
looked
if-
very.
If they
If you
found,
can locate him, and if
if
he's
they
not too
found the
expensive,
man with the golden voice, with the golden radio
I know what
voice,
you're
then we
talking
can find this guy.
That's
alright?
true.
Oh, that. Oh my god.
The
Right.
homeless dude.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he was-
forgot about
that was
him.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I remember that.
Pretty sure
5 or
he's,
6 years
homeless
ago
now.
now.
Wow. Yeah.
He burned through all that money. He was like, "Fuck, I'm homeless again."
It's a sad reality.
Yeah, sad reality. But I would love for you guys to just have that dude just one song. He just says, "Come on!"
Just all it just.
That's all it is. It's
That's
just
it.
him
I tell
saying,
you-
"Come on."
I tell you what, Josh.
If-
If you come jump on stage on Wednesday, I will give you my mic just to yell, come on.
Come on. All right, I'll fucking do it.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
You're gonna have a girl there, so it's like
She's gonna be like, this guy knows the band. He's in the band.
Did you see that? He sang that "Come On" one time. But
I wanted to ask this earlier. Do you guys have like musicians that you really look up to? Like, you play bass, so do you have any bass players that you look up to? You play guitar. Do you have any guitar players? And you play drums. Do you have any drummers that you really look up to?
I
I'll go
mean,
last.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you're a kid, it's different. You kind of idolize people, and I hate to say, like, I become an adult, I really don't idolize anyone. I mean, I probably have my favorite musicians, like drummers, Danny Carey from Tool. I know some modern drummers are, absolutely shred, like Matt Reiner. It's funny, a lot of my favorite drummers are actually now, like, even in alternative rock, so, yeah, I mean, I guess it's all over the place, you can really pull inspiration from anyone. It's just really, like, sitting down and listening to it for what it is, so... There's a lot of good musicians out there, that's for sure. It makes me want to practice a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a cop out, but I really, really enjoy their music. But Geddy Lee from Rush, dude's just unreal. Dude plays bass with his hands, plays keys with his feet, and sings all at the same time.
Yeah,
just is unreal.
There was a like a tribute cover band, local band.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're called Jukebox Heroes. And one of their band members looks just like Geddy Lee, and it's the funniest shit.
I mean, but yeah, like he's just a really good musician, and he's a hell of a bass player. And one of my favorite things, I saw it earlier. One of my favorite things is he goes, "I hope nobody ever learns to play bass like I do because I have terrible form." And I kind of relate to that because I don't play bass like traditionally how most people do at all.
No,
But
and
I mean,
all these like really well known and good musicians have sloppy technique, but no one cares because like I know he does.
It's the style. They have enough style to make up for it.
Jimi Hendrix played fucking guitar baseball bat, like holding it like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Spence.
me is I've said it 1,000 times, but I just grew up like a Ryan Key from Yellow Card, just a big inspiration for me, especially because now in the band like I have the same role as like I'm one of the front men and I sing and play guitar, so he's one. There's plenty of people. There's Justin Pierre from Motion City Soundtrack. Dude's so talented.
He's so good.
Will Pugh from Cartel. That's another one that played guitar and sang in like a really, really, really fucking good band. So there's I could name like 100 different dudes that play guitar and sing that I think are awesome. Like John Nolan from Taking Back Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of those bands from the 2000s. Like a lot of my favorite bands, there's probably someone in that band that I look up to as like a writer and a musician. So
I actually just saw them when they came
Who's that?
last summer. Taking Back Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I'd never seen them. My older brother doesn't
I've seen 'em, like,
particularly
2 or 3
like them
times.
live. But I mean,
They're really good live.
He hates them. He
So
said
he's-
that.
yeah,
he
they're
said
They're one
they
of
were
the best
worst.
live
Well, his
bands.
opinion's wrong because they're really good live.
They're
So
unreal.
let him
You
know.
hear that, Kevin?
Yeah.
I'm not even like one of the biggest fans, but they're insane live. I saw a video on YouTube like not too long ago. And I was just like,
They probably haven't
See,
died then.
Well, they play with 3 guitars live, so every single thing that is on their records is
yeah.
even the extra guitar layering on the record that
Yeah.
normally you wouldn't be able to play live because you only have 2 guitars. They have a 3rd guitar player for that stuff.
That's
I was gonna
They have
say
all the
'cause,
extras
like,
and everything.
Dude,
the only
filled in
thing,
for.
the only thing that was awful about the concert was the fact that I was like, because it was at House of Blues, and I was squeezed between the wall and a fat chick, so I'm just kind of like, I have nowhere to
Why haven't you
go.
told this story before? What the fuck?
Because that was really
he has
it.
he has PTSD. about
House
that.
of Blues can kind of blow. Like not to lie. I mean, it's an okay
Depends on where
venue,
you're
but
at.
like,
It's alright,
Yeah.
yeah, but it can
it's
suck
a little too
sometimes.
like I don't know. They should have no barrier there.
They're a little
That'd
too
be cool
corporate
venue.
about it.
Yeah,
That's why I like the Agora.
Yeah. The
Dude,
ballroom.
people stage diving in the main room at the Agora.
You did when we went and saw Dance Gavin Dance.
I went crowd surfing.
I was at that show. Yeah,
Were you
Oh,
really?
yeah.
last
Oh,
week
yeah.
or whatever.
What did you
Yeah.
think of it?
Sick.
Okay, what did you think of Icy Star?
Well, sadly, I love Icy Stars. They're actually one of my favorite bands.
Okay.
Again,
didn't
I
think
liked
they
I
could
liked
make
them
it
back
to
like
the
probably
show.
3-4 years ago more. They had a couple members leave and whatnot, but yeah, I actually missed Icy Stars and Arod. Would have liked to see them both again, but all I caught was Dance Gavin Dance. But
They
yeah,
put on
Dance
a
Gavin Dance
fantastic
was
show.
phenomenal.
They're
again,
so good.
technical, but they still had showmanship. But again, they have the luxury of having 2 singers and
Yep.
2 guitars.
Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible clean vocalist.
Drummer's a
incredible
monster.
screamer,
Their
incredible
guitarist.
guitar player.
Tillian is one of my favorite.
He's
singers
the best
right now.
Dance Gavin Dance singer.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I wanted. He just announced like a solo tour. He's not coming close to like.
What was their old vocals that everyone says he was the best one?
Johnny Craig.
Johnny Craig. Johnny
Yeah.
Craig is such
John-
a
Johnny
he's
sucks.
a piece
Yeah,
of shit.
He's a
piece of
yeah,
shit.
he's a piece of
You
garbage.
think- you
He's a
think
terrible
Johnny
human
Craig-
being.
fuck
Yeah,
you.
fuck you, Johnny
Wait,
Craig.
I'm pretty sure
for being a shitty
Honestly,
person.
Slaves is pretty type. Yeah,
He's a great vocalist.
Yeah, no,
he's just a shitty person.
He's good at what he does, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's
David
an
Lee
awful
Roth.
person.
just like
So,
Frankie.
I also
Mary.
just think Tillian has a better voice than him. Anyways,
Oh yeah, I love his
in my
voice.
personal
Have you
opinion.
listened to his solo
yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, so good.
His solo stuff is
Phenomenal.
great.
Phenomenal.
Going back to Taking Back Sunday, there's a funny story. A long time ago, like this is like 4 years ago, I actually won free tickets to go see Taking Back Sunday, and I was supposed to go with Spencer. And
Spencer bailed.
no, Spencer actually got to go.
The fuck?
But you didn't.
I worked with my girlfriend at the time,
Yes.
and I'm still with her. We don't work together anymore.
Oh,
She got sick, and I had to cover her shift, and I missed Taking Back Sunday.
way to go.
You should have seen the anger in Josh's face when he said that.
she hates me for bringing this up all the time too, but Spencer was able to go
Fuck
with one of
immune systems.
he was able to go with one of his best friends, which thought it was cool, super cool. I've still yet to see Taking Back Sunday.
Thanks.
So this
Way
summer
to go.
it's gonna happen. I
Are
will
they
be
coming back this summer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no shit.
I'm
we
going.
have Story so far and
Coheed and Cambria, dude.
Coheed and Cambria.
Hell yes.
There's a chance I might try to go to that.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Are they playing
I-
at Blossom?
We're going.
No, they're playing.
Nautica,
Nautica.
yeah.
At where?
Nautica.
Maybe
I
I'll
knew-
have
I knew
to
it
get
was
that game
really
taken from.
Okay.
Dude, the
I didn't know.
Coheed.
Yeah, no, I heard that story before. I
Coheed,
have to.
yeah.
I'll see what I can do. Stuff, no worries.
Alright.
Dude, I love Coheed so much,
Oh, Coheed
primarily
too.
because when he writes the albums, he draws comics with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking
That's so cool.
awesome. That is so cool.
The actual albums are actually based off the comics. He does the comics first.
That's
Really?
So
That's even cooler.
The storylines, like he kind of does them simultaneously now,
Uh-huh.
but the comic was first, and then that's when the first album for that series kind of happened.
That's awesome.
Could you imagine being that talented? They're like, I want to write a comic book, and then you're like, you know what? What if I
Let's
turn this
do
into
music.
a musical album? And like, you're good at that too. Like, what can he not do?
Hey, everyone's got their creative mode.
And then
For sure.
my second favorite story about Taking Back Sunday, I was actually at the Amberlin farewell tour.
Oh, I wish I was there.
I saw them once.
Rest in
at-
peace.
at
I saw them
Warped
at-
Tour.
I saw
Yeah,
them
I was
at
at
Warped.
that, yeah.
Mhm.
Their lead singer announced they're going to be breaking up and going on a farewell tour, and I was like, I have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My girlfriend made up for it. She actually brought me tickets for that show.
She
so
wasn't. Then she got sick.
Yeah,
Way
it
to go!
See, but
Proud of you.
they actually brought Eddie on stage to sing him Happy Birthday, and he was the most pissed off human being because he was at the show backstage, and their lead singer brings him on. Everybody sing Happy Birthday! And Mike Herrera from MXPX opened.
Oh my god.
So they brought him on to do Love Song
Uh-huh.
by
The Cure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they did that with him, and it was awesome. And then they brought Eddie out with Mike Herrera and the lead singer Amberlin singing Happy Birthday with the entire crowd to Eddie. It was awesome. It was
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
Take My
awesome.
Sunday's always doing cool shit. When that one show, the one that you missed that I saw, the Gaslight Anthem was playing the next night in Cleveland, and they're like friends. So Brian Fallon from the Gaslight Anthem just came out and sang one of like Taking Back Sunday's, like one of the old ones, like Cute Without the E or There's No I in Team, like one of those
Yeah,
old
yeah.
ones. Like Brian Fallon was on from the Gaslight Anthem was on stage singing it with them.
He's
That's
done a
cool.
lot of different projects.
That was
Were
cool.
you guys? Did you? Who played that concert that Danny and them were at? It was
It was
90s.
Captain Kidd.
It was it was Captain Kidd.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
you guys were there for some
Captain
reason.
Kidd?
Yeah.
I'm actually friends with a couple of the dudes out there.
Oh really?
Yeah, I knew
I don't know.
they're one of their original drummers. He's
I was
one
ver-
with the band, but
The Cure.
I've been listening to
They're
them
cool.
for a while.
Columbus All Rock.
See, I love when things line up like that, where they're whatever touring, and then someone from a featured song or something comes on.
And
Like,
it just works out.
yeah, like I think it was the 2009 Warped Tour. I was watching Cobra Starship with my brother, and Gym Class
Throwback.
Heroes was playing later on in the day.
Oh, both
And they
throwbacks.
played Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
And then just as his part comes on, like he fucking jumped on stage and started singing, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!"
That's so cool.
That's something last Warped Tour, Good Charlotte was doing for the anthem. They would just grab random people, like random singers from the other bands.
Yeah, the bands are
Oh,
friends
So
with.
I actually went to Chicago to see it,
Uh-huh.
which it's in Tinley Park. Which, if you know, like our pop punk scene, like that place is huge because of Real Friends and Knuckle Puck and now Home Safe, kind of.
Okay, yeah.
It's literally like where Real Friends is from, and so they were like, it'd be like for us if we were playing Warped Tour in like North Olmsted or North Ridgeville type of deal.
That's like
Oh,
how
yeah.
close it is to home.
That's really
like
cool.
they literally walk out of their backyard to Warped Tour type deal.
That's
Wow,
cool.
That's
But-
awesome.
They brought Joe Taylor's lead singer and Knuckle Puck on to do the anthem with them, which was really cool. but I think the best thing I've ever seen at Ward was Bowling for Soup here. Once they were done, Less Than Jake was here, and then the last song, all of Bowling for Soup was on stage playing with Less Than Jake.
Oh, that's
cool.
really cool.
That's cool. See, I'm excited to see Anthony Green in August because he's going with Good Old War.
Mhm.
They're like best friends. And
Yeah, they're
So
going to
where
be
are they
doing some
playing
cool
at?
shit, definitely.
Pittsburgh. And they play in Michigan, but I'm not going to go to that.
I think I'm going to have to get tickets for that. I might go with you.
Cool. I mean,
Because I want to see Good Old War again and playing with Anthony Green. I mean,
yeah, he's phenomenal.
It's what, the 10th anniversary for Avalon?
For Avalon.
It was Anthony Green and Good Old War, and they were in Sound of Animals fighting together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I kind of want to go in case they
Right.
play some Sound of
Yeah,
Animals. Yeah, no.
All right, so we're gonna end it there.
Hey, do you guys want to?
comment.
Yeah, where are you guys playing upcoming shows? and all that?
let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's do
yeah.
that part.
Let's
Let's
Well,
do
we
this.
can put it. We'll put it in.
Let's do this.
Post
Let's
episode.
do
but
this
we'll
part of
say
the
too.
podcast where we promote the band.
You guys,
And
are
you
in a
guys
band.
Guys, you guys
guys.
are here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are
Wait,
playing,
you guys are in a band?
kind of,
No,
not really.
we're okay.
Sort of.
Somewhat.
What's a band?
It depends on the week.
We prefer group.
So we're playing with a band from Arizona called Ann Arbor and a band called Alvarez Kings in a few days. On the 27th.
27th, yeah.
Where?
At the Foundry in Lakewood.
Yes.
And then a couple weeks
Tickets
after
are-
that,
Tickets are $12 for that one.
yes. A couple weeks after that, we are playing on
July 12th.
Thursday, July 12th with the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus and Rivals.
Same place.
8 days after that, we are playing Summer Bummer in Lakewood, which is at Mahal's in Lakewood. It's a really cool, Midwest touring band, local band, punk festival thing. You got Home Sleep Hot Mulligan, Jetty Bones,
Who are on
City
a
Mouth,
Heart Attack.
us, Heart Attack Man, a couple of our friends from the local scene.
It's at fall.
It's gonna be a blast.
Paul Nyes, Taylor Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. And then actually, this is the first time we're announcing this because we can now.
Exclusive.
This is an exclusive announcement for our bands.
Babbling.
And then in August we'll actually be playing with the Spill Canvas as well. So we have
Oh, no shit.
we have a summer full of
Wow.
really
Where's
really
that
cool
at?
gigs.
Foundry
The
again.
Foundry.
Yeah.
And,
We literally
Shout
just
out to
found
the
this out.
Foundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just found
It's our home court for the summer.
They confirmed the show and then after that this is there's
This is
other,
some inside
this is
knowledge.
other stuff that I won't really go into detail about, but we'll be traveling a little bit once the new record is finished and released.
So if you're
So
not,
keep your
Is
eye
it
out
a
for that.
record or EP?
It's an EP. It's just a record is a term for, I would say album if I was talking about
Yeah.
10
Yeah,
songs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're going to 4 to 5 songs on this one. So
Oh wow, awesome.
and we'll be announcing those cities. So if you're outside of Cleveland, hopefully we'll be coming to see you guys.
hopefully.
So you guys are going to, what is it, Slovenia? Or,
Yeah,
Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Yeah, playing that.
That'll be sick.
We have
Dallas.
an inn in the Norwegian black metal scene.
Oh, cool. Oh, God.
You know what? Let's make this happen.
You
This is a thing.
So,
Infinite Annihilation.
Oh God.
and we'll put your Twitter. You have an Instagram, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's at Elbow Room Band on social media.
Okay.
Or Elbow Room Official on Facebook, I guess.
Yeah.
It's official.
So
It's official.
Official.
Officially
it's
official.
officially our Facebook page, Elbow
I'll
Room
change
Official.
somewhere.
Is it as official as a Facebook relationship?
Yeah, that's why it's album official.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that's
So if you guys
that's,
break
that's
up,
big.
do you change your status to single?
It's complicated.
It's
It
complicated.
is. It would be
Complicated.
complicated. Yeah.
So I
It's
do
usually,
remember.
one member at a time, so
Yeah.
the cord normally stays.
Who
As
gets
long as-
custody?
As long as there's a 75%,
Yeah.
you guys are good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who gets custody of our song babies?
No, who gets
Ah.
custody of? Who's the youngest?
Me.
Spence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who gets custody
Yeah.
of Spence?
Spencer's Ben's actually older than me.
Ben's the
Well-
oldest. I'm the youngest. Scott is after me, and Stephan is right under Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you guys have Snapchat at all? Do you want to promote
No,
that?
not as a band. No,
Okay.
no band
Your
stuff.
personal
no.
Do you want to
Nah.
promote any personal stuff?
No, all our stuff is on our
You
on
can-
our band
You can
page.
link. Yeah,
You can
find
find-
it
Honestly, the biggest thing I'd say is Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. That's
Mhm.
huge.
Apple Music if you don't do Spotify.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. Subscribe, all that stuff.
Are we on Amazon Music?
Yeah, we're on Amazon Music. We're on Shazam. You can Shazam us. So if you ever hear us and you're like, "What? Who
Who's this
band?"
rad band?
Or you're like,
Yeah.
"Check this out. This
Dude,
band I know
beat
is on
Shazam.
Shazam." You can Shazam us.
Yeah. What if
Our
we showed up
distributor
on
got
Beat
us
Shazam?
Dude.
Dude, like, what
That
if we
would
got a
be
message?
huge.
Because
On
who's the dude who hosts that
Let me
show?
call Jamie Foxx real quick.
Is that who it is? Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that's all. Yeah, I'm not really worried about the personal
That
stuff.
should
I'm
be
really
like the,
just
that
worried
should be
about
like the final
the band.
question because nobody would ever get it.
Unless I was on there.
No,
that's
Shazam,
okay.
Shazam would get it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the people who have to beat Shazam, they wouldn't be able to.
It's not hard to beat Shazam.
Unless they're
She's a
from
bitch.
Dallas, Texas.
or
Lithuania.
or
Ohio,
Or Ohio.
Or the Philippines.
or a bunch of some other random cities around here.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's us.
Alright.
One download from Philippines.
If you're listening, I love your food.
That's true.
Me
But
too.
yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
no, thanks for having us, guys.
It was a good
You
time.
guys are
You guys
welcome.
come-
Come back.
yeah.
Thanks for
We
having
will.
us.
Let's do that.
You know what?
Sometime in the future.
Maybe
Yeah,
after
of
that little traveling around, maybe we'll come talk to you guys about that.
Would love to have
Maybe
that.
we'll have a 3 dudes babbling special on site.
Yeah, we go
At
on
our show.
stage.
Yeah.
You're going
Set up like a table.
Yeah,
This table.
like in
Yeah.
between songs, we have
We
to
do-
bring this table.
We can
real quick.
pull,
We're just
we
like,
can
all
pull,
right,
we
this
can,
is-
we can pull like a nationwide headliner and
So
be like,
they are
okay,
tuning
so
for
the
the
merch
next song.
tables that everybody normally uses, they're all ours.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast right now.
Yeah,
But,
this is a temporary break.
Yeah, but thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
We are on YouTube. I think that was
YouTube,
YouTube's new.
iTunes.
iTunes. I
For
don't
the
know,
podcast app.
but the Podbean. Working on Spotify.
Fuck you, Spotify.
Still, fucking Spotify.
God damn. How long did it take for you guys to get on Spotify?
Not very long.
No. We have like a distributor that gets us that got us like online.
We've
and
been
stuff, so.
waiting like a
For a
month.
month, yeah.
What are you using?
Podbean.
Podbean.
Use Sound Drop. It's free.
Definitely.
Sound what was the other one you said that was right?
Reaper.
Reaper.
Yeah, that's
That's an audio.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't
okay,
say
so
that.
there's
It's audio.
Oh,
Yeah,
Reaper is
station.
the software. Yeah. Sound Drop's distributor.
Okay,
Gotcha.
awesome.
All right.
Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Thanks for
see
stopping
ya.
by.
Peace out.
I think the time has come for me to break away. Only things I see are what I talk